The laughter had a sharp edge to it, like glass underfoot. Her voice cut through the air. "He's lucky I haven't left him yet." Everyone laughed, even her father, even mine. And I smiled, because that's what you do when humiliation dresses as humor. You smile and let it bleed quietly inside your chest. But her grandmother didn't laugh. She just watched me with eyes too steady for comfort. Later, she pulled me aside by the porch railing, her grip cold and deliberate. "My late husband would never tolerate that," she said. "Neither should you." Her words didn't sting. They settled, deep, like a needle under skin. That's when I knew tonight wasn't going to end quietly. It started months ago, little things, a password change, muted calls, laughter that stopped when I walked into a room. She said I was paranoid, said I'd grown distant. Maybe I had. But distance isn't the same as blindness. I began to notice patterns, late-night meetings, perfume she never wore for me, a nervous twitch in her voice when I asked harmless questions. I remember once asking, softly, "You happy with us?" She said, "Of course," and turned away before finishing her glass of wine. People lie in the smallest movements, especially when they think they're safe. By the time the reunion came, my silence had become its own weapon. I'd already stopped trying to fix anything. I was watching, collecting, and tonight, when she made that joke, I knew I had everything I needed. Not revenge, no, something colder. Truth. Public, surgical truth. For weeks, I moved like a ghost inside our home. I copied her phone data onto a cloud drive she didn't know existed. I checked locations, messages, receipts. Patterns emerged, names that reappeared. Eli, lunch, late meeting again. She was careful, but not careful enough. People in love with secrets always leave trails. I found the hotel invoices, same date, different pretext. The smell of him lingered in her car, different cologne, faint, but there. You start to catalog every detail when your world begins to fracture. And yet, I said nothing. No confrontation, no questions, just observation, detachment. In public, I was the same calm man everyone thought I was. At night, I lay beside her, listening to the quiet rhythm of deceit. That's when I realized this wasn't betrayal. It was exposure. She'd simply revealed who she'd always been. The difference between knowing and proving is timing. And I had perfect timing. The evidence came printed, bound, time-stamped. Her messages, her hotel check-ins, her digital fingerprints. No drama, just data. When I looked at her across the kitchen that morning, she was humming, making coffee, unaware. I placed the folder on the counter. "What's this?" she asked, smiling. I didn't answer. She opened it, and the color drained from her face like a slow leak. The silence between us was surgical, clean, deliberate. "Who showed you this?" she whispered. "You did," I said. Her lips trembled. Tears. The practiced kind. Half regret, half fear of consequence. "I can explain." "No," I said quietly. "You can react. Explaining is for people who haven't already confessed in writing." She sank into a chair, shaking. I watched her like a surgeon watches anesthesia take effect. Emotionless. Efficient. 2 hours later, the family gathered again for dinner. Same laughter, same pretense. I waited until everyone was seated. Then I stood. "I just want to make a small announcement," I said, voice even. "Turns out I'm not as lucky as she thought." I handed the folder to her father. Page after page. Screenshots, receipts, proof. The silence that followed was suffocating. Her mother's fork fell. Her brother cursed under his breath. And her grandmother, the one who warned me, just nodded once, like she'd already seen this ending before. My wife tried to speak, but nothing came out. I didn't look at her again. I just said, "I won't be needing luck anymore," and I walked out. I remember the sound of the door closing behind me, soft, final, almost kind. In that moment, I didn't feel rage or grief, just equilibrium. The truth, once exposed, doesn't burn, it freezes. And when it freezes long enough, it hardens into something useful: clarity. They'll talk, of course. They'll wonder when I found out, how long I knew, whether I planned it that way. The answer is simple: long enough to stop loving her, and just soon enough to make sure she never forgets that night. Sometimes silence isn't weakness, it's precision. And when the world expects your anger, nothing is more terrifying than your calm.